Yo, what is up? It's your boy RJ in the building, and today we are doing a video based on team building. Now, I've been kind of procrastinating making this video because this is such a very broad topic. Like, there are multiple ways to build a team, multiple ways, multiple theories, like based off of like you personally from generally, and like it's just such a broad topic that I know that there are going to be people who experienced the game going, no, I want to do this, or no, I want to do that, So what I decided to do to kind of, still make a video to help you guys while still keeping it generalized, kind of, is give you like a foundation rather than to do this scenario. That way you lot can then come up with your own theories based off of that foundation, or if you lot after using my foundation have your own foundation you want to go off of, then that is completely fine. Again, there are multiple ways and multiple theories and multiple foundations to build a team. Now, I feel like this foundation is good to cater for anything that you are looking for the game, whether you're looking to have some fun, or you're looking to just get good for the fun of it, or you're looking to go competitive and enter some tournaments and do some first to five as well. Either way, it works for all level of play, which I feel like will work regardless. So if you like the video, you've learned something, please be sure to give this video a like. Remember to hit the subscribers. I am trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so I'd really appreciate you like helping me do so. Now, without further ado, I bid you guys not farewell. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace, sayonara, and adios.
皆もご存知渦巻きナルト
So firstly, I just want to obviously let everyone know that there are multiple ways for team building, basically. So there isn't just one way of building a team, but with what I'm going to give you isn't necessarily this is how you build a team and this is what you should do. Once you get comfortable with, I'm basically going to give you the foundation. Once you get comfortable with the foundation, then by all means team build however you want to go about it. So if you want to go about it like if you want to kind of break the borders of how I'm going to give you the foundation for, then do it, as long as it makes sense to you and caters to you. For example, well, I can give you better examples later on in the video once I explain it a bit more. So how I like to split up the characters in terms of team building is point characters and support characters. I got the influence based off of like games like Fighters, where they have a structured team and they have point, mid and anchor, your point being the first one, the mid being the middle one, and the anchor being the last one, and they have their own roles for it. In a game like Naruto, you don't really have a first, second or third. You mainly have your supports, which is your assists, who are not on the field, and then you have your point characters. Now, what is a point character? What makes a point character and what makes a support character? A point character is usually a character in this game which is better out the field than basically and is as a support. You don't have to be one or the other. You can be a good point character and a good support character. For example, the last Naruto is a character where he's good on the field and he's good off the field. He's good on the field because of his guard pressure, his very fast start up to his tilt, able to tilt out of combos too. But he's good as a support due to him being a strike back and his jutsu being very good up close defensively, as well as for guard pressure as well. So he's very good. So a character like him can be a good point character and he could be a good support character. So you don't have to necessarily be one, but there are some characters which are better as a point character, like for example Neji. Neji is better as a point character than a support character. Due to the fact of him having an easy infinite, convert off his tilt, which you can't counter his tilt as well. You can convert off his grab, whereas as a support, and he has obviously his big hitbox with his damage to match. Whereas as a support, his rotation is probably the best thing to make him a support, but even then, he doesn't really have a strike back, so he sends them across the map, and you gotta then dash up to even get a wake up option. And there are times where you can just clip the side of the rotation and you don't really get the full effect of it. Not saying that it's a bad jutsu, it's a good jutsu, but there are just better jutsus than that. And his air palm, yes, air palm can sometimes save you from an air combo, but it's just not, it doesn't really cover enough options in my opinion. So why, in my opinion, Neji is more so a point character. You won't really ever see him as a support character unless he's paired with like a Danzo or something like that. So and then lastly, obviously you have your support characters, like for example Tamari, or a lot of the other cover fires, range characters, should I say. Range characters, the one thing and them they do, and you would have seen in my tutorials for like Utakata and stuff, is that they lack damage output. So for that reason, they struggle to be a point character. Obviously they have traits, for example Tamari has very good guard pressure, able to do her air combo on guard and continue her guard pressure, her tilt being able to stop dashes. You know, they have good traits to make a point character, but just because they're a support character doesn't mean that they can't be on the field. You can still be supportive, and you can still switch into someone and be supportive in a whole different way. It's not just necessarily you not being on the field for you to be a supportive character as well, which I will get into. So what makes a point character? So like I said, a point character is a character that has a lot of tools on the field. For example, let's take Neji for example, considering I spoke to him, right? So Neji is a type of character where he has a very good first hit, he has a big hitbox, able to stop dashes, he has a lot of damage output from an easy combo, he has an easy infinite as well, he has a good grab that he can convert of, he has a good jutsu which he can do in the air and on the floor, it being safe on top of that. He has a lot of tools is what I'm trying to get at. So that's why I'm saying that is what makes him a point character. These tools you cannot access once you switch off of Neji. You are unable to access that. So for that reason, when you have Neji on your team, you want him out on the field more than he is off the field. Now, obviously, because you want him out the field more, this is where again the supportive characters come in. A point character is mainly used for other characters to buff him. A support character is mainly used to buff the point character. So let's take Tamari for this instance, because again I used her. Neji, how would you buff Neji? Well, Tamari, which is also a cover fire, as well as her cover fire being the best in the game, good on block, stun and on hit as well. By adding Tamari to your team, when you have half of a support gauge, it gives Neji infinite combo because of the stun, and it also gives Neji an infinite block string, which means he can also pressure you better. So Tamari has complemented Neji in terms of his guard pressure and in terms of his neutral. So if somebody's dashing him, he can throw Chakra Kunai and Tamari will cover him, and he gives him a quicker and easier infinite which he can convert his tilt after as well. So Tamari has buffed Neji to make Neji stronger. That is a good example of how to utilize your supportive characters and your point characters. So that is basically what I'm getting at regarding a foundation for your team. And then your third character would be a good character to tie them in. So again, let's say you're basing your team around Neji as a point character, right? So let's say you're thinking, I main Neji, I'm really good at Neji, I want a team to revolve around Neji. Well, let's buff Neji some more. This is where, and I go back to the last Naruto which I was talking about. The last Naruto, he is both a support and a point character. That means as a support, he is still able to buff Neji without being on the field. But the fact that he also has point character qualities as well and can be played point, he can also be switched into to also help Neji out on the battlefield as well. So for that reason, last Naruto coming into the team is a beneficial to Neji as well, because he can help Neji in terms of guard pressure, he can help Neji in terms of defense as well, his jutsu getting him off him, as well as having the cover fire as well. So there's a lot of factors that play in. So that would be a solid team and a very, very good team that is used as well. Now you can have 3 points on the field and 3 supports on the field, but then that you have to recognize when you are doing so. When you have 3 points on the field, this is what we use to go that is a switch heavy team. Because you have 3 points, again, you want them to be on the field, so you wouldn't really be pressing the support gauge, because as soon as you press the support gauge, your whole support bar is gone. Whereas if you switch, it only takes half the support bar. So because of that, if you have 3 point characters, you're going to be switching more than actually using your support assist, because obviously their jutsus might not be good. For example, Yugito is a point character. Yugito's jutsu isn't very great. As an assist, there is zero reason to even use the jutsu as an assist at all. So you will never really be just pressing L1 or R1 on Yugito to using it as an assist, as it will serve next to no purpose. You will more so switch into her and then switch off of her. That is something that, again, by team building, you gotta recognize stuff like this, so you're actually utilizing the most and you're not wasting unnecessary resources or switch gauge. So this is where, again, you gotta realize what your characters can do. And if you have point characters, then they're best on the field, so you want to utilize the stuff that you have on the field. Whereas if you have supported characters, then they can still come on the field, because again, there are a lot of characters. For example, Pain is another one where he can be both a point character and a support character, having a strong jutsu, a strong first hit on his hitbox, a strong tilt, very quick combos, very good combo damage. So he can also do both. But again, you gotta know what your character can do. Are they better as a support, or are they a point character? And then you go from that. Because again, going back to Yugito, there's no point just using her as an assist. Same thing with, like, for example, Sarada. There's no point just using them as an assist, because it won't do much. So you gotta recognize stuff like that. So in terms of building a team, if you use that foundation to build a team and you get comfortable with it, then you're able to, again, you can break the rules a little bit, i.e. having 3 supports. I wouldn't really recommend 3 supports, because I feel like you do need a point character, at least 1 point character, but that's just me personally. But if you find 3 supports to work for you, then I guess that's fine. But in my opinion, 1 or 2 supports is ideal. 1 or 2 point characters is ideal, and then 1 support, or having 1 point character and 2 supports. Or you can even rock 3 supports, but again, you have to understand that you're gonna have a real switch heavy kind of thing as well. You won't really have good jutsus to also help you. So in my opinion, having 1 support and 2 point characters, or 1 point and 2 support characters, will generically be a strong team no matter what the tier is. So regarding team building, that is my foundation. I hope that it made sense to a lot of you. Obviously, this topic is a very broad topic. Just because this is how I do things doesn't necessarily mean that that's how everyone else does things, or I'm right and everyone else is wrong, or vice versa. It's just a foundation for you lot to use, and hopefully that you lot find it better to make teams. Just because I've been playing the game, I've been seeing people make teams that aren't really too good and synergize well, stuff like that. So I hope you guys learned something in the video, as that is my aim. Please be sure to give the video a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, sayonara, and adios.